Place your bets, you jackwagons. Brad the Big Noise Evans here. The Elite Eight underway tonight in the NCAA tournament. And naturally, I have some wagers for you. Before I get to those, this is the Fade 5 podcast. If you're not familiar with this little show, you should be listening to this on the regular. Myself and Nate Lundy. Drop us a rating and a review if you're enjoying the program. And if you're new to what we're offering, subscribe now on our YouTube channel or our various audio platforms available wherever you download and listen to your podcast. And smash that like button as well if you enjoy this program to boot. All right, let's go ahead and dive into the pair of matchups tonight. Game numero uno here on the Fade 5 podcast. I'm going to go with Kansas State. I'm going to lay the chalk, which is at -1.5 at tape time against Florida Atlantic and the Hootie-Hoo Owls, who are surprising and shocking and blowing up brackets everywhere. As a result, -110 at BetMGM. You look at Kansas State, their last 7 games. Yeah, kind of a middling number 30 overall, according to Bart Torvik's advanced analytics, but number 15 in adjusted offensive efficiency during that span, netting 1.188 points per possession. They're shooting 60% from 2 and 34.6% from 3. Yeah, they're north of 220 in offensive rebounding and defensive rebounding percentages. And yeah, they've got susceptible defense, number 191 and EFGD during that stretch, but a team that is certainly going to press pedal to the metal, number 34 at adjusted tempo in their last 7 games. They're going to relish what I feel is going to be a brisk pace. You look at FAU in their last 9, much higher, according to Torvik. Number 10 overall is their official standing during that span. Number 78, EFG offense, and number 7 in EFG defense, giving up just 43.8% from 2 and 26.5%. That's it from 3. And they're getting a ton of second chance opportunities, right around a third of their offensive possessions, and a team that can certainly play at variable speeds. Look, the Owls got a lot of wheels at the guard position. John L. Davis, in particular, going to hear that name a little bit later on in this pod, is lighting up and tickling the twine right now. But how could I fade a Harlem native in the Garden who's coming off a record 19 dimes dropped against Michigan State? That's, of course, Marquise Noel. It's all about guard play in the NCAA tournament. And I am down with the Tang gang. And I still cannot get out of my mind that scintillating pass that he had. You know, communicating with Tang there on the sidelines like this. In the corner of his eye, sees Keontae Johnson, and all of a sudden, looks up, passes it perfectly from the top of the key, and Johnson catches it with the reverse flush. One of the greatest plays you'll ever see anywhere, let alone on the biggest stage in the nation here in the NCAA tournament. So Marquise Noel, I think, will be the difference maker in this game. Him and Keontae Johnson, brilliant, and there's some excellent complementary players playing at a high level right now for Kansas State. And for all those reasons, I am going with the Wildcats minus the 1.5 against FAU, -110 at BetMGM. Game numero dos here on the Fade 5 podcast under the primetime lights. I'm going to go with a little OGP, and come with me if you like this one. Give me UConn to win straight up on the money line, and I'm going to take the total down and hit the over on this alt total of 143.5. And you see that, oh baby, seduced by the juice there at +115. No team has been more dynamic in terms of the numbers nerd that is dancing around in my mind at all times than UConn. They are number 1 over the last month, according to Bart Torvik's advanced analytics. You break it down further, and they really have no weaknesses. Number 11 in EFG offense, shooting over 58% from 2 and over 39% from 3, number 32. Meanwhile, in EFG defense, allowing just 43.1% around the 10 and 31.8% along the perimeter. I get a lot of those second chance opportunities going up and snagging and squeezing the orange. 39.8% of the time in the last 30 days, they have generated an offensive rebound. Cam played variable speeds, similar like a FAU. I know they're number 241 in tempo, but they can run. They are willing to do so, and they're willing to grind it out in a half-court setting. You look at the Gonzaga Bulldogs, top 5 team in their own right, according to Bart Torvik, in their last 7 games, and it's all about offense. Number 8 in EFG offense because of Timmy. Drew Timmy time has been front and center, a team shooting 57.8% inside the arc and 41.9% outside of it here in their last 30 days. Though defense is an area of weakness, number 125 in EFG defense during that stretch. And it's not so much inside, but stretching out, challenging and contesting shots along the perimeter. The Zags have allowed 36.4% from 3 in their last 7 games. They also get a ton of second chance opportunities, right around 34% of the time. And they like the brisk pace, number 81 and adjusted tempo. Hawkins, I think, is going to be critical in this game. Caravan as well from outside. UConn's got the marksmen, the sharpshooters, I think, to match bucket for bucket, whether it's coming from Timmy or Strother or Bolton or somebody else of the Zags. And given their defensive prowess, I think they're going to get the victory here. March on to Houston and the Mecca of college basketball there and the Final Four. And I think the over hits as well. This should be a fairly high possession game, likely to be somewhere in the 70s in the end. So to recap on this OGP, mush, Huskies mush on that money line, and the over on the all total, 143.5 plus 115 at BetMGM. Before we get out of here, I can't leave without a little bonus time. And let's work in another SGP/OGP, and let's do one on some player props, shall we? Now I'm going to stay zeroed and locked in on the Kansas State matchup against FAU. So on this SGP/OGP, and again, maybe come with me on this if you dig it, I can't fade the narrative of the big man, the little big man there in the Big Apple. And, of course, that is Marquise Noel. So give me Noel 15-plus points. Give me Noel 5-plus assists coming off that 19 dime effort. And he's not going to match that, but, he probably could get half of it tonight. Give me Keontae Johnson 12-plus points and John L. Davis 10-plus points. You see that? Oh, yeah, work those shoulders and get seduced by that juice at plus 165 at BetMGM. A little bit of background here on John L. Davis. You're not familiar with him. He is a guy that takes the most shots and is probably the most prolific scorer for the Hootie Hoos. He's hit the over on this in 9 straight games. He accounts for 25.5% of the team's overall shots. Marquise Noel, a guy consistently getting over both these marks. He accounts for 27.7% of Kansas State shots. That leads the team. And Keontae Johnson not far off that pace. Number 2 on the squad, accounting for 24.7% of the team jacks on the year. So again, Noel 15-plus points. Noel 5-plus dimes. Keontae Johnson 12-plus points. John L. Davis 10-plus points, plus 165. Make it happen, and hopefully we're going to make some moolah here in the end. All right, if you enjoy this podcast, whether the express editions or the full shows, which we always try to keep under 30 minutes, drop us a rating and a review, would you kindly? And feed or follow all of our picks available absolutely free, always transparent on the Twitter. You can follow Lundy's selections and all of his musings at Nate Lundy, mine as well at Noisy Huevos. Good luck in your bets tonight here in the Elite Eight. I'll have another breakdown of tomorrow's games sometime during the Sunday course of hours throughout the day. So keep tuning back in to this podcast, whether you're just soaking in the audio version or watching this ugly, hideous face and animated picture and sound. Until next time, as always, feed or follow. That is up to you.